In this video, we're going to explore how to use the iPad app called Path. This app can be found on the iPads that are included in the kit. To locate the Path app, place your finger in the center of the iPad screen, swipe down and type Path. Then tap on the Path app. At this point, make sure that you have connected your dash. Turned your dash on by pressing the power button. Then tap the plus icon in the top right-hand corner. In a classroom setting, you'll have multiple dash connecting to apps at the same time. One way to find which robot you're connecting to is by looking at the background color on the app, and it matches with the background colour that you'll find on the chest and ears of the dash robots. So in this case you can see we have purple and green on the chest and ears. If you have a look on the app, we also have purple and green, so that helps to identify the robots when we're connecting them via Bluetooth. I'm going to click on Connie and then tap on the play button in the centre of the screen. When Path opens, there are a number of playgrounds. Most of them are locked. You have to complete activities in the first one to open the second playground. So I'm going to, you can see there are 3 activities to complete in this, and I'm going to tap on the dash with an orange grid. When you open the app, you'll have an aerial perspective of Dash with a white circle around him. You'll see that the grid is rather large, and if you place your fingers apart on the screen and pull them together, you're panning out and you have more floor space and Dash becomes smaller. But if you place your fingers together on the screen and pull them apart, your floor space decreases and Dash gets bigger. You can position Dash for creating paths by placing him on the screen by using your finger and holding it down on the screen and dragging it to a spot. So I'm going to start from the corner of the screen here. To actually get Dash to navigate a path, you place your finger in the white dotted circle, hold it down and drag it across the screen. When you let go, you can see you have a path. Dash has a white dot on the top of his head that is flashing. That's prompting the students to click the button to get Dash to follow the path. So here we go. I tap on the button on the virtual Dash and he moves across the path that we've just drawn. So you can see if I wanted to change the path and I want to get rid of what was there, I would press the red cross and the path disappears. So I'm going to move Dash back across here. You'll notice on the iPad app, I've moved Dash into the corner. I'm going to place my finger in the white dotted circle and I'm going to drag it across the screen and I'm going to draw a shape. So here I have a triangle. On the shelf at the bottom of the screen, we have coding nodules. We start off with 3 coding nodules. There are more nodules accessible to us in the box on the shelf. We can drag those nodules and place them on our path, and when Dash reaches those nodules, he'll perform an action. So we have a sound, we have one for recording sounds. On the app you will see that we have a space for 10 recordings, individualized recordings. To actually make a recording, we press on the microphone in the bottom right-hand corner. We tap on the microphone and we have slots that we can select to place it in from 1 to 10. I'm going to place the recording in 1. To record a sound, and this is great if you're creating stories and Dash is playing a character in a story, because you can create lines for Dash to act out, and so we can press the microphone and it says a prompt comes up asking us if we're okay for the app to access the microphone. Say okay, press the record button and it counts in. One day Dash decided to go for a walk in the woods. Press stop. One day Dash decided to go for a walk in the woods. So it plays the sound back and you can hear it if you're happy with it. You use the sound by pressing the tick. If you're not happy with it, you'd record the sound again. So I'm going to press the tick, and you can see it's saving that sound to slot number 1.
One day, Dash decided to go for a walk in the woods.
Okay, so to go back to the app, I press the blue tab at the bottom of the screen in the center, back to app. And now, to get rid of the pre-recorded sounds, I tap on the screen, and you can see I also have a pause button. It looks like a stop sign. And when you actually place your finger on the line and drag it across, you can change from 1 second through to 10-second pause. So perhaps you might have a number of dash acting together, and you might want to have a pause for that dash to actually wait for another dash to do something. So if I go back to the screen, and if I'm actually going to get Dash to perform this action, I'm going to press the dot on the top of the head, and at each coding nodule, he'll perform a certain action. So now you can see I have Dash ready to navigate the triangle with some coding nodules along the way. When I press the white dot on the top of his head, Dash will map out a triangle on the floor. So we can see that happening. I'll press the dot on the top of his head, and we can see he follows the path, pausing at the nodules. And he's finished. If I wanted to add different coding nodules, click on the box, and at the moment I have 6 available. But as we move through the playgrounds, more of these nodules will become available. Click back on the screen, and to get rid of my triangle, I press the cross, and the path is gone. In a classroom setting, you may find students accidentally connect to more than one dash at a time. Here I have a dash connected with a red background. I have a second dash here, which is purple. If students connect to a dash, realise it's not theirs, and then go to connect to the correct dash, they often end up with 2. So here, I'll click on 2 to show you what that might look like and show you how to correct that in a classroom setting. So in the top left of the app, you can now see that there are 2 dash connected. If I tap on the dash, and it searches for the robots, and you can see there is a tick on both of the robots that are connected to this app. I can delete one of these by tapping twice on the one that I don't want to be connected to. So I'll turn off the purple one, tapping twice, and now you can see I'm only connected to one of those. Students will find the settings button underneath the dash when they're connecting. Quite often students will click on this. This is where the name of dash can be changed, as well as the colour of the background and the volume of the noise that dash makes. And also what greeting you'd like when you start and turn dash on and off. To go back to the app, you click on the arrow, takes you, you're connected, and then you can see I'm back into the app and ready to move forward. I'm going to click on the arrow in the top left of the screen, and this takes me back to the playground where there are still playgrounds that are locked. As we move through activities in each of the playgrounds, that will unlock. So the other playgrounds have challenges that are already designed for students to complete. So here you can see that this challenge is to get Dash to move around the racetrack, and I'm panning in, I'm dragging my fingers together on the screen so that I can pan out and see more of the floor space. And so now you can see if I create a path around the racetrack, and I'll just do oops, I'm going off the track, go around, and you can see it's telling me to complete this challenge, I need to include 2 coding nodules. One is a trumpet and one is the motor somewhere on the path that I create. So I'm going to drag out the trumpet, and then I'm going to drag out a motor. Once I press the button on the top of my virtual dash, he follows the path, stops at each coding nodule to complete the task, and then when the task is finished, you can see we get a tick and it gives us a new coding nodule and another task for us to complete. And so the next one comes up and it's asking us to place 3 coding nodules. As you move through and you complete the tasks on this playground, go back to the screen, these padlocks will become unlocked and there are other challenges for the students to complete. So the orange grid behind Dash, the first playground, this is a free play area where students create their own paths. And you can see that the number of challenges that I've completed are now show on the orange app to say that there are 7 of 27. So I've now got 7 of those coding nodules in my free play playground. So I can click back to return to the screen. So that is Path. Thanks for joining in, and be sure to check out the other how-to videos for using the apps Blockly, Wonder and Swift Playgrounds.
This video is part of a series of support videos all about the kit that you have borrowed. To find the other videos in this series, head to the Learning Library and visit the kit page for the equipment you've borrowed. You can also find the full list of support videos for all of our kit on the YouTube channel. You can also join us in the Yammer community. If you have any questions or you'd like to ask teachers how they've used the equipment in their classroom, then why not join us on the STEM T4L Facebook community? It's a closed group. You can ask teachers how they've used the equipment and also share the work samples that your students have created.